So Andrew, as we can see behind us, the progress that's been made over the last couple of months since our last update has been spectacular. I mean, it's come on leaps and bounds. Can you just fill us in with what's happened recently?
We're very pleased, obviously. Andy Mackintosh, I'm Project Director for Buckingham's. Since the last update I did, we obviously covered the the trusses going up and all the precast to the to the bowl, as we call it. Obviously, we've just got one more row of precast to do at the far end. And then over this next month, the last triple truss at the Putney end will go on at the end of March, and then that should see the crane and the barge going. And obviously it's all been about that, so obviously we can get our sort of level 6 plant room done, as we spoke about last time. So we're in the process of next week casting the first concrete slab there on level 6. And then early April, then we'll be dropping all the plants, that's all the boilers, all the heat recovery units and everything else will go in early April. That's quite a big milestone for us in terms of obviously moving on to the second fix, mechanical and electrical. Sort of starting from early April, we're taking our road out and starting the lower terrace. So we've got about 5 rows of terracing to finish, which forms right at the pitch side. Things that we're planning at the moment is to get all the plans in place to get the media area, which is level 4 and 5. So you can see in the centre there, there's the new gantry, getting all that glazing and the cladding done, getting all the MEP in there, and start to make preparations then to take the gantry down in the next off season, so we can transfer the club over to the permanent areas. So again, that's going to be a big focus for us over that off season period. I suppose one of the key milestones for fans, as you can see behind the seats now are going in. So the first 1,000 seats have arrived. There's another container due next week, and we'll start to progress all that. We're doing all the ball metal work, so all the P-rails, all the handrails from the pitch side. So that's really starting to take shape. In terms of the steel frame, so it was all about us working to the far end. So over at the Hammersmith end, which is now the hotel end, and we've completed the steel required to get the last triple truss on. So that's again another milestone for us. And then in about 3 weeks' time, I'll have the other triple truss on at the Putney end, and we'll be commencing then erecting the steel frame for the health club area, and that forms the back of the Putney and joins up the TV studio and control room area, and brings all that concourse together. And then in terms of key things for us now are obviously envelope, getting glass in, getting things closed off. So we've started the unitised bracketry that's on the Riverside, and as I mentioned before, once the panels arrive, they'll go on very quickly in probably the 3-month process to get everything done all the way across. So I said all the bracketry's in there now, going in. All the concrete floors everywhere are all cast now. There's one more part to do in the basement, but we've started doing all the block work now inside basement, and that'll form all the plant areas, so things like the sprinkler tanks, the substation, irrigation plant, and everything else that goes in there. So that's obviously another key area for us. So no, it's just been obviously a really good period for us, despite the getting through the winter, and the weather's obviously changing now, which is great. It's going to be a big bonus for us. Moving out to each end now, and there's a lot of complicated sequencing that we're having to do in order to keep feeding the job while we're at each end now. From the MEP point of view, so we're really firing up with all the risers now, so they've all come prefabricated, and every riser needed. So we've got all the mechanical electrical comes up behind the terracing, goes right up to the building, up to the top level 6. So the level 6 plant room is actually inside the trusses. It's an open area where we'll be dropping our plant in, and again having a crane lifting everything in from the marine side. So that'll be in sort of mid-April time, we're hoping. Yeah, in I think it's about 4 weeks' time, so we should then get all the new lights to go up. So we're in between each truss, the rafters, then there. Obviously the new lights go in there, and that'll provide fantastic coverage to the pitch and really illuminate it up. And some of the images that you've taken there, when you look up in the bowl from the seats, and towering over Stamford Bridge, I'm sure the fans are going to be very happy about that.
With the marine works being completed, I'm the furthest thing from Handy Andy, but does that basically mean the process can accelerate? Is it not less sensitive, but does it make things easier once that process is done?
Well, we'll still have a lot. Obviously, there's, from a business point of view, there's a massive cost to us having cranes here, so that's another milestone for us as a business, getting rid of those. The work's on the marine deck itself, so during the, might not be this quarter, early the following quarter in the summer, we'll get all the timber decking on all the parapets in there and everything. So by the end of July, we'll have all that done. The Putney concourse at the moment, we're bringing all the electrical mains in, so all the HV and LV cables are coming up the Putney end. Gas is coming up through Hammersmith, so those works are ongoing, and getting those into the new Riverside stand in the basement. We have some attenuation crates to put in at each end. That's part of the flood defence to really stop, to slow the discharge down that goes into the Thames, which has been a design we've been dealing with for a while. But there's a hell of a lot of glass coming in March, and start to see glass coming on, which again is another sign that we're getting sealed in, getting watertight. Start to put the sort of sensitive fit-out elements in there, doing all the dry lining and everything else.
Exciting times. I mean, thanks very much for the update, Andrew. Really exciting times ahead, and thanks very much for speaking to us.